I am Mary Todd Lincoln, wife of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. My story unfolds during a period of turmoil, from 1861 to 1865, during my husband's presidency and the bloody Civil War that divided our nation. Allow me to share my story, my joys and sorrows, my hopes and disappointments, as a First Lady at the center of history. When my husband was elected president in 1860, I felt both great pride and great apprehension. Our arrival in the White House in March 1861 was marked by political tensions at their height. The secession of several southern states had already begun, and the Civil War was imminent. I knew that my role as First Lady would not be easy, but I could not imagine the magnitude of the sacrifices and tragedies that lay ahead. I considered myself an educated and sophisticated woman, having grown up in a prominent family in Lexington, Kentucky. My knowledge of public affairs and my gift for conversation enabled me to support my husband in his responsibilities. Yet my position was often criticized. Coming from a slave state, I was viewed with suspicion by many Northerners, while Southerners considered me a traitor. I lived in a precarious balance, constantly under public scrutiny. During those dark years, my priority was to create an atmosphere of warmth and normalcy for Abraham and our sons, Robert, Willie, Tad, and Eddie, although Eddie had passed away before we even left for Washington. The White House was a place of crucial decisions, but also a refuge where I sought to maintain a family life despite the external conflicts. Unfortunately, the war did not spare our home. In 1862, the loss of our beloved Willie at the age of 11 was a blow of unimaginable pain. His death plunged me into deep mourning, fueling rumors about my mental health. As First Lady, I committed myself to supporting wounded soldiers and their families. I visited hospitals, offering words of consolation and care to men wounded in combat. The brutality of the war was unparalleled, and I felt the weight of each life lost as a cruel reminder of the torn state of our country. Despite the hardships, I shared my husband's ideal of a united and equal nation. His determination to abolish slavery, implemented in the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863, was a cause I fervently espoused. But the sacrifices required to achieve that vision were overwhelming. When the war ended in April 1865, I felt a sense of relief that the dark days were finally behind us. But fate had other plans. On April 14, 1865, while we were watching a performance at Ford's Theater, Abraham was assassinated before my eyes. That tragic moment marked the end not only of his life, but of mine as I knew it. My heart was broken, and I was left a widow in a country that mourned the loss of its leader. Today, in sharing my story, I hope to be remembered not only as the wife of a great man, but also as a woman who endured the storms of her time with courage and devotion. My path was fraught with pain, but also with a deep love for my family and for a nation that I hoped would rise again, united and stronger.